Hi, I'm Lynn from the Happy Hormone Cottage. How are you doing today? I want to thank Lanita for inviting me to come and be a part of your group for a few minutes and explain what we do here at my Happy Hormone Cottage. So fasten your seatbelts and get ready to learn a little bit. Maybe take some notes if you can, and we'll get started right over here. Okay, looks good. Okay, there you go. So I did send Lanita a PDF of Tasks of Hormones. It looks like this here. Sorry for the glare. So you should have that handy. I also sent her a really great article that was written about what we do here to kind of give you a feeling for why I began my Happy Hormone Cottage, who I am, and the heart of what we do. So hopefully you've had a chance to also look at that. I will warn you, I do talk fast because I can. I'm from New York State, and I'm just used to it. So listen faster. I don't know, shake your head a little bit. And just get ready for the ride. So I guess I'm going to start by showing you one of my posters. And by the way, I taught 6th grade for 30 years, so I'm into the visual learning piece. So I'll be using some visuals today. So I don't know if you can see this. I'll start, I think you can see this whole thing here. But the reason I start with my chart is because HRT here stands for hormone replacement therapy. And there's a lot of misinformation and confusion that I like to clear up right away on this. So let's talk about this piece over here, the synthetic piece here. I'm having a hard time holding this up and seeing that on the screen. Okay, so the synthetic hormones that are drugs acting as hormones were really prevalent back in the 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, 1990s until 2002. When a big study came out, Women's Health Initiative study, and it showed that these synthetic drugs masking as hormones, the Premarin, the Provera, the Prempro, cause significant health issues like cancer. Kind of a big deal, right? And being a 6th grade teacher back in the day, look at the word Premarin. It stands for pregnant mare's urine. Now, I don't know about you. Nothing about me looks like a horse. You know, we're not really horses, right? So this is conjugated horse urine, conjugated estrogens. So I don't want that in my body. Thank you very much. So, you know, a man invented it, right? In the 1950s, of course, a man would have done that. And then there is synthetic progesterone called progestin, a drug. And the combination of both, probably the worst drug known to man is Prempro, for Premarin and Provera, Prempro, right? So after 2002, luckily, many doctors stopped writing prescriptions for this. However, today, some doctors still do if you allow it. So always question what your doctor wants to do. And I would recommend you stay away from the synthetic drugs. Why? Because we have a lot better strategy today. So after 2002, we began this BHRT that stands for bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. Can you say that? Bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, BHRT, okay? And there are 2 legs for that. This leg over here is made by big pharmaceutical companies. It's not a bad strategy. It's bioidentical, which means that it kind of puts in your body what your body can no longer make enough of anymore because of aging or surgery or some other factors that we'll talk about. And it's all things like the estrogen patch, estrogen gel, estrogen spray, the progesterone capsule. Again, it's bioidentical, so it's a decent product, but it's one size fits most, and they often determine the strategy based on a blood test. So it's not a bad strategy, it's just not what we do here, okay? I would call that adequate, but not the best strategy, okay? So I'm over on this leg here, we are over here with Customize. So we do a really amazing cutting edge testing, which I'll show you in a moment. And then we can customize from this 15-page report a strategy just for you that we make in our own compounding lab here on site. So we're a one-stop shop. That way we get the adequate testing, we get a 15-page report, an hour appointment with our doctor who's amazing, and then we can write a prescription just for you that we make here in our lab from plant-based powders. So it's one size fits you. So of course I'm biased in our favor, right? I'm being honest with you. But I love this strategy because it works. And it's about everyone's best health naturally, okay? So just to recap, hormone replacement therapy, bad, synthetic, in my opinion, good, BHRT. And of the 2 legs, again, the best one, in my opinion, is bioidentical replacement therapy that is customized for each woman who comes into our facility, okay? So I'll put my chart away for that. By the way, I did write a book called Own Your Journey several years ago, so I'm not selling it anymore much. It's just kind of out, it's not outdated, but it's just 4 years old. And so I do think it kind of validates the fact that I know what I'm talking about, and it's going to a second printing, so I'm really proud of that. Okay, let's talk about why you need hormone replacement therapy. So I know that your group is talking about overall health and fitness and eating strategies and changing your thinking and changing your behaviors. And what we do here is not taught in medical school. And that's why I began my cottage 10 years ago in August, because there's a huge gap between what our doctors know and can help us with and the truth. And so I was reading Suzanne Somers and listening to Oprah and reading books, and I recognized there's a real need in our community for the truth to come out about women's needs in their body and how they can be addressed the most natural way. Because drug reps go to our doctors and they would give them the latest, greatest therapy, and it's not going to probably be the most natural piece out there because it's made by a drug company, right? So I just opened up my cottage to talk to women, as my article that you read showed, and it just has snowballed and just exploded because women have talked to other women, and now we have several locations. We've got one in Mason outside Cincinnati, and one here in Centerville, the heart of Centerville near Dayton, and one north of Dayton in Vandalia. And it has resonated with women because we've met their need of listening, validating their journey, and providing options and reasons why they should consider these options if they would like to. There's no pressure. I just want to take away the fear and confusion and show you what it is we do so that you can make the best informed decision and not just go with what your doctor suggests. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Doctors are amazing people. But what I found from my own experience is that if you go in and ask and tell your doctor, I'm having a hot flash, or I'm extremely tired, or I'm really fatigued, or I've got weight gain, or low libido, I've had women report to me that the doctors have said to them, go home and walk your dog, it'll be over soon, it'll pass, you'll be dead soon, it's okay. And those answers aren't really helpful. So I thought there's got to be more. So I went through my own journey with Hormone Balance in 2004. My husband, who was a pharmacist at the time, just saved me. And I thought, gosh, it's progesterone. Women don't know anything about it. I've got a big mouth. I talk really fast. I'm from New York. I can do it. So I began my little cottage, the Happy Hormone Cottage. And it just, I just put a niche and it just took off. And it's been really, really a fun journey. That's the book. And it's just been really incredible. So we love helping women. So now that I've sort of hopefully explained to you about hormone therapy and tried to erase the fear piece of it a little bit, I'm going to show you about the tasks of hormone, which you should maybe have a copy of from Lanita, maybe in front of you. But what I'm going to focus on here is the progesterone piece. And progesterone is called our joy of life hormone. And if you're taking notes, I want you to write the number down 35, okay? Because 35 is the magic number when women begin to lose progesterone. If this were a progesterone receptor, up until age 35, most women have what they need of progesterone. Your cup is full, right? Your receptors are full. Not all women. Some women that have issues with infertility or postpartum depression or other issues might not have quite enough, but typically up until age 35, we're okay. Then after age 35, your progesterone receptors begin to decrease a little at a time because the ovaries begin to age. This is called aging, right? So the farther you get from 35, the lower your receptor goes until pretty much when you're in your 40s and 42, 45, 48, you don't have what you need. And that's a problem because progesterone is a really important hormone. And if you can look at your sheet here, it helps sleep, depression, anxiety, elevates the mood and irritability, prevents sugar cravings, it helps aches and pains, and it helps prevent breast cancer. So it's a really big deal. And the problem also when you don't have enough progesterone is you have too much estrogen. That's called estrogen dominance. Write down these 5 words if you can. You ready? Estrogen is a fat storer. Right, and then go, okay? Because it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to be estrogen dominant. If you're over 35, you just are because you're a woman, right? So let's say you and your partner, male partner, go on an eating plan or a diet to lose a little weight. You know that your partner is going to drop weight like crazy, and you may lose a pound or a pound and a half or 2 pounds. In the time he loses 10, and it's really frustrating. It's not your fault. You're doing nothing really wrong. You're estrogen dominant. So what I want to do is provide for you a strategy to help you reduce the dominance. We can't suck it out of you, right? Wish we could. We're going to give you some progesterone, right, based on great testing and the formulation that you need for you to refill your hormone receptor to balance out your estrogen dominance, right? Now, estrogen is a really important hormone, and it does over 300 jobs in the body, mainly with the heart and the brain health. So it prevents heart disease and dementia, so it's really important. So we like to, and you will lose that as well as you age, post-menopause, after menopause. So after you are no longer having cycles, periods, or you've had surgery or hysterectomy with your ovaries removed, you will need some estrogen. Not a lot, but a little bit. And then you'll have your progesterone receptors equaling your estrogen receptors, because you'll need a little bit of estrogen as well. You'll always need more progesterone. And then testosterone is another great hormone, not just for men anymore, right? It builds great, strong bone. It helps memory recall. It helps energy. It can help libido if we address adrenal fatigue. So hormones are really important, right? And no one knows this. And I don't make this up. It's in all the books. So if you want to read a really good book, this is one of my favorites. It's by Dr. Jeffrey Dosh. It's called Bioidentical Hormones 101. And it's got a lot of different chapters on adrenal glands and thyroid and other things. But I love this book. It's fairly easy reading. You don't have to be a doctor to understand it. I'm not, and I understood it. Okay, so this is a great book by Jeffrey Dosh. Fairly new, a couple of years old, I think. And then we have a lot of studies also that, I can't grab all of these, but they're on my website. So if you go to happyhormonecottage.com, and I love my website, and you'll go to the toolbar and you'll click on resources and readings, you'll find a lot of studies. Here are just some of them here. Just perspectives on BHRT. Does it cause blood clotting? No, it doesn't. Just how is it affecting affected Alzheimer's? Just all of these. What is that? The hormone debate. I mean, just study, and I've got another handful more up there that we often let our clients read. So estradiol. So there's tons of studies on my website. Again, it's on the web page. Resources and readings, so you can feel free to log on any of those. We also have great books, articles, more studies. So this information is out there for those who are interested in reading more. I guess my message to you for the moment is just don't do nothing. Don't let fear and misinformation and confusion stop you in your tracks. The other thing I want to tell you is that often doctors will, if you're having an issue like I can't sleep, will offer you Ambien. If you're depressed or anxious, Prozac. You're not Prozac deficient, okay? You're progesterone deficient, and they don't know that, so that's why you have to know that, right? And you're going to want to go to a place like mine that understands the female anatomy, understands the basic needs, and probably is in the world of functional medicine. So functional medicine, have you heard of that? Again, it's on my website. Go to the webpage that's titled Functional Medicine. But basically, it is the study of how the body works together as a whole. So our main goal here is to find and fix the root cause of hormone imbalance issues. But then we also just found, about 2 or 3 years ago, we found that, we can help women, but sometimes we just don't help them as much as we know we can, or that they need to be helped. So my medical staff here became certified in genetic testing. We have 2 different types of tests. We have one with DNA Life and one with nutrigenomics. 2 different types of tests that they each address different issues, but it allows us to find and fix the root cause of many diseases for a relatively inexpensive price, so we can actually get you better and not just band-aid your symptoms with medication. So I wanted to throw that in there. Okay, so how do we check for your hormones? We could draw your blood. I've got a really cute phlebotomist named Dove, and she could draw your blood, and I could get a number. My philosophy is you'd have to be dead to be out of range. Oh, you're in range, you're fine. And you're probably not fine, and you're probably not in the range that we consider healthy. So what we like to do is we'd like to do dried urine strip testing. So here it looks like this. Okay, it's from a company called Precision Analytical. It's called the Dutch test, and Dutch stands for dried urine testing for comprehensive hormones. And it's really easy and user-friendly. Everybody has to tinkle or pill, right? So I use my sample kit over here. So what we do with this test we get a 15-page report what's happening inside your body with your hormones, your cortisol, your adrenal glands. How are the adrenal glands? How are they fatigued? How are they functioning? How's your cortisol level? If you have a very stressful life, did you know your body will rob the cortisol to actually function, and it will also rob the progesterone. So if we don't have enough cortisol, you will actually die. And then the cortisol lack uses more and more progesterone, and it's just a vicious cycle. So we want to get a read on your cortisol, okay? Then we show the metabolite pathways of our hormones: DHEA, progesterone, testosterone, estrogen, and methylation and metabolite pathways of those and what's happening inside your body. So way more informative than a blood draw that gives us a number, oh, you're 3. What does that mean? I have no idea, just that you're miserable, right? So we want to know what's happening in your body. So how we do this, and by the way, we used to do saliva testing. Women are the worst spitters, so I'm so glad that Mark Newman created this particular test that's for us that's user-friendly and really easy. So all the directions are on the inside of the kit, right in the middle there. But what you do, if you're still having a period, you would do this testing on day 19, 20, or 21 of your period. If, like me, you're older than dirt, or you've had a hysterectomy, or you're no longer having cycles, you can do this any day of the month, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead at dinner time on day 19, 20, or 21 if you're having a period. And by the way, day 1 is the first day you begin to bleed. You kind of had 19 days, right, or 20 days. Or any day if you're not having a period. Take these 5 filter papers that are in the little plastic baggie. Fill the back out first. Go into the restroom at dinner time for number 1, sample number 1. And you're going to tinkle or piddle on this filter paper here and just saturate it. Really easy. You can collect it in a cup if you want to, but who has time? Just pee on it, right? You can collect it and dip it, but I don't have time for that. So just pee on it, right? Okay. Then put on your bathroom counter to dry. And the second, oh, by the way, before you do that, they want your urine to be nice and concentrated, so don't drink a lot of liquids after lunch. And no caffeine or alcohol in this 12-hour window. So no caffeine or alcohol. So after lunch on the day you test, you can, have water or have, juice or whatever, but don't have a lot so that your urine is nice and concentrated. Okay. Sample number 2 is at bedtime. No liquids 2 hours before bed. Fill your little card out first. Tinkle or piddle on this filter paper. Put on the bathroom counter to dry, go to bed. The next 3, I fill these out the night before because I've done this before. I know tips for that. So in the middle of the night when you get up to tinkle, if you do this 3rd one. If you don't ever get up in the night to piddle, then don't do this one. It's just a free one. If you do get up in the night to tinkle, do this sample, fill it out before you go to bed if you want, if you could, it's easier. Piddle on this filter paper, put it on your bathroom counter to dry, or tape it to your shower curtain, or put it where nobody can mess with it, okay? And then go back to bed. When you wake up the next morning right away, don't lay there and think, just get up and pee, okay? Sample number 4, you filled it out. Tinkle on this piece again, filter paper, that's number 4. And then 2 hours later is your final and 5th one. Don't whine, no caffeine in here, okay? And I'm really sorry about that, but after you've had, so you wait 2 hours, pee again. You can have decaf coffee, herbal tea, juice, water, not a lot, just maybe a cup. Then do your last sample 2 hours later, okay? So to recap, you'll do dinner time, before bed, middle of the night if you can, first thing next morning, 2 hours later. Let them dry the whole next day on your bathroom counter. Let them dry the whole 24 hours. The day after, come into the bathroom, tuck them back into the little sleeve, put them back in the baggie. Fill out this requisition form that comes with it in that little kit. That's about medications you're on, supplements you take, when your last period was. It's very easy. It doesn't take very long. And the envelope actually says 8 stamps. Whatever the envelope says, do it. Okay. And then you're going to just send it out. It goes to Oregon, okay? And then the people in Oregon run this amazing report, and they get it back into the Power to Patient portal, Power to Practice Patient portal. And then we get a 15-page report, and from that information is how we do our diagnosis and analysis of what you need for your body. Cortisol, adrenal fatigue supplementation, and then the hormones. We also have a really great 10-point thyroid panel. Women come, I would say 6 out of every 10 women that come in have a thyroid issue. Most are on medication. They still feel horrible because their doctors, even endocrinologists, especially endocrinologists, have checked the TSH and T4. We have a 10-point panel that's really inclusive, way more than the TSH and the T4. We also have a machine called the ThyroFlex machine where, like a little teeny laptop, you have this blue band around your wrist. We thump your elbow with a mallet. It's so fun. Your finger twitches, and a printout spits out that identifies how your thyroid is at the tissue level of your cells, how that's working there, where it's really important. So that information and the 10-point blood panel, we can really identify what thyroid issue you're having, if any, along with Hashimoto's. And then we can really get your thyroid up and running as well. For adrenal fatigue, my husband, who's smart, Jeff, he has created 2 really great adrenal support supplements. I don't know if I can do that. There you go. We don't sell these without the testing because we want to know what's going on with your cortisol. But adrenal support 1 helps calm you down at night to sleep and keeps you sleeping and without having your cortisol spike. Adrenal support 2 is what we use for energy in the day as we heal your adrenal glands from adrenal fatigue so that you can be functional. So once we have our triad there of the adrenal glands, thyroid, and sex hormones, our women begin to feel better. How long does it take? 3 weeks to 3 months. The farther away you are from your optimal hormone balance, the longer it takes. This is not a quick fix. I'm not giving you a drug. I'm not giving you a pill. I'm giving you a medication. By the way, we put them in these click top containers from plant-based powders, so they're all natural. And we actually use these as a cream. We use them vaginally around our inner thigh. So I take, if this were progesterone cream in here, I do 4 clicks at night. I take the cream out, and I use it vaginally. If some women are icky with that, icky, 6th grade word, you can use it on your inner thigh. If you're still having your period, you do this days 12 to 26 of your period. If, like me, you no longer have periods, you do it every single night until you're dead, until you croak, right? Because if you stop your therapy, receptors will go down again to 0, and you'll feel really bad again. So it's an ongoing therapy for a higher quality of life. So hormone therapy that we prescribe for you, that's personalized for you, will prevent heart disease, osteoporosis, dementia, breast cancer. It's just a really great strategy to help prevent disease. So it's going to give us a higher quality of life. Of course, you have to eat right. You've got to move. You've got to exercise. You have to take care of yourself in other areas. I'm just focusing on the arena that I live in, because I know that if I don't include hormone balance into my daily routine of wellness, I'm just not going to be as well as I could. And that's just my truth. You have to figure out what's best for you. We don't sell used cars here. I'm an educator. So people come in to see me, or they call us on the phone. It's $25 for a step 1 consultation. We hear your story. We validate you. You fill out a checklist. We tell you what it is we do. And then you can work with us if you choose to or not. The only thing we have here is we don't do the telemedicine piece. There are laws against that for what we do here. But what we do is we want to have you come in to see us at least once a year if you're out of state. So women come in all the time from other parts of the country, from California, Texas, Florida, Missouri, Tennessee, all over. They fly in or drive in to see us. So many have come in that I've actually had to make a travel brochure of where to stay, where the airports are, things to do, restaurants to eat at, my favorite ice cream place, my favorite chocolate candy place. I mean, it's been crazy. So if you are able to come in and you want to come in, feel free. My website, happyhormonecottage.com, has our contact information. You can call to make an appointment, even for over the phone, but you have to come and see us in person at least once a year. Okay. Let me check and see if I have everything. I made notes because you guys are important. Two more things, and then I'm finished. If you have Hashimoto's, that's a really interesting condition. I guess it's a disease. It's an autoimmune disease, actually, where the body attacks the thyroid, and it really causes a lot of suffering. And I have to say, with all humbleness, we're really good at working with Hashimoto's, okay? We're a part of the book written by Dr. Isabella Wentz called Root Cause. You can get that book on Amazon. I think it's like $18 or $20. The paperback is like $18. It's amazing, Root Cause. Read that book, and then we follow that protocol, so it's amazing. And then finally, one thing I will say is if you have heard about anything based with or about pellets. Pellets, it's a hormone therapy that we don't believe in here. We don't do it here. Everyone else does, and they're a great money maker, but we don't believe in them, because when you know better, you do better, right? So you can read more about that on my website, why we don't believe in them for women especially. Go to my website, and on the home page right below the toolbar is a blue box that says Pellets, a Second Look. You can read why we don't believe in them here, and why I will never do them, and why I don't want your money from them if they're going to be damaging. So we just want to be a great wellness center here, full of authenticity, loving women, helping them on their journey. I've talked long enough. I hope you're still with me. I'm going to give you my cell phone number. If you ever want to call me, please do. I probably won't answer, but I'll call you back. So my phone number is 513-600-9875. 513-600-9875. That's my cell phone number. You will not call me to make an appointment. I don't do that. I don't have to do that anymore. I have a whole staff that does that. If you want to ask me questions or answer anything, or I talk too fast or whatever, please call me. But if you want to make an appointment just to get information, you can do that. And that number is 513-444-6343. Well, Lynita, you're doing a great job. I love the fact you have this 30-day online course. I hope you guys are kicking butt and thinking about what she's teaching you and talking with each other for peer support and changing your behaviors by changing your thinking, and then really working on your best health naturally. So have a great day, and I'm so proud of you guys. See ya.